Hey there, how are you? Happy is it Tuesday or Wednesday? I'm not even really sure. I think it's Wednesday, but it might be Tuesday. It's the 11th. I do know that. How are you guys doing? I just want to chat for a few minutes. We're here on planet Goofball Chaos right now. So tell me how you're doing. Is anything on your mind? What's going on with your happiness level and your peacefulness level? I really want to know. I'm looking over at the chat. I want to see how you guys are feeling because I'm curious. Hey, Deborah, how are you? Are you settling back in? Deborah was on the Yucatan trip with me and a bunch of other fun girls. Gosh, that was a really fun trip. We had a great time. And looking back on it, I'll have to say the surprising standout is how well everybody meshed. I mean, everyone just had a great time together. It was the coolest thing to see this group of women that did not know each other from different parts of the country with different backgrounds, and everybody just got along. It was so fun. It really was. I still remember, all the fun interactions and stuff. That was stuff. What do you think, Deborah? Were you surprised too, or do you think that just felt like natural? I'm curious about that. Hey, MK Brown from North Carolina, Placerville, girl. You're my neighbor. I'm in Grass Valley. I'm up 80, you're up 50. I actually grew up, like in Fair Oaks and Granite Bay and stuff, so I know that area really well. Placerville's pretty. Lots of history there, that's for sure. California, Crispy, what part? California is a big state. There's lots. Essex, Connecticut. Are you guys still cold back there? It's warming up here. Oh, miss you all. Went crazy. We actually driving home from Epcot, went to the Flower Garden Festival. Oh, I bet that was fun. Deborah was our fashion plate. Her and Rosalia were our fashion plates on the trip. I'm telling you what, every day it was like another fabulous outfit. It was amazing. I'm wearing the same dress every night for dinner, and Deborah's coming out with all these great outfits. It was really fun. Hey, Alice from Tucson, Arizona. I'm pushing Lucy off the couch because she won't leave me alone. That was the most fun ever it was. I'm still totally mystified about what a wonderful group of ladies gathered for that trip. I know. I almost don't want to do another trip again because that one was so good. I'm like, maybe I should just quit while I'm ahead. It really was a lot of fun. And for those of you who didn't go and were thinking about going, you should have gone. It was really good. It was really good. Santa Barbara. I used to live in San Luis Obispo. I know that area well. It's very pretty. Georgia just warmed up beautifully in the last 2 days. Okay. All right, you guys. You put your little fingers to the keyboard. Am I the only one that's paying attention to what's going on around the world? Are you guys too? What do you think about it? I just wake up every day. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to look at my phone. I don't know what happened overnight. Almost don't want to go. Love Slow. Slow is great. Holland, Michigan. I didn't know there was a Holland in Michigan. That's cool. Nobody's telling me how they're feeling. Do you not want to say? Let me know. Gosh. Oh gosh. It's warming up a little bit here. I'm going to tell you guys a story before we get started. You probably know if you've been following me for a while, and you probably have if you're on the lives here. I'm a fanatical kayaker, and it's March. It's early March, and that means it's still a little cold, but I decided last weekend that I just couldn't wait. So I had already loaded my kayak up in the back of my car and all my kayak gear. I keep it there all spring, all summer, and then late into the fall until it's like way too cold to kayak. So that, if a body of water breaks out, I'm ready. So I decided on Saturday, I'm going to go kayaking. It was going to be like 68 degrees, 68, 69. I thought it'll be okay. So there's a little lake near me, and I drove up there, had my kayak in the car and everything. And I got there and there was snow on the ground. I thought maybe it's still a little too cold. So here's the thing is that, when there's snow on the ground, the water temperature is really low. And if you fall in the water when it's really cold, your lifespan is really shortened. And although I have never in 20 years of kayaking fallen out of my kayak unintentionally, by accident, I still thought maybe not, because I was by myself. Nobody knew who or where I was. I thought maybe that's just not the smartest thing. So that was Saturday. Sunday, I get up and I think I'm going to go down the hill. I'm going to go into the valley and go kayak Lake Natomas. The little gal from Placerville is going to know where that is in Folsom. I'm going to go kayak Lake Natomas. It's warmer down there. It's like 72, 73. It was a beautiful sunny day. So I drive all the way down. It took me a little over an hour. Pull my kayak out, all my gear, start to go pump my kayak up. And there's one tiny little fitting on the pump that did not make it when I moved. I'm not kidding you. So this was the second day and I'd driven an hour to go kayaking. There was one little fitting. So I couldn't inflate my inflatable kayak and I couldn't go kayaking. So that was my weekend. That was crazy. Okay. Unapologetic Fraud says, so sad. I imagine you're talking about what's going on. Yes, we have one of the biggest tulip festivals. I'm thinking you're saying tulip festivals in the country. Oh, that's why they call it Holland. Okay. Born and raised in Slow, Atascadero. That's such a pretty area. Now live in Jamestown, California. I don't watch the news and I try to avoid world events on my phone. Okay. Yeah, and tulip, not dulip. Okay, great. Well, we're here for the boss event. Let me tell you guys, I'm going to share something that I absolutely love. And I don't say that very often, I am the self-appointed crash test dummy for over 50 women. I'm always looking for the stuff that's good, and most of it is crap. Most of it's not very good. So I just don't even end up talking about it. Today, I'm going to talk about something that I've totally fallen in love with. And I had it for a while and I didn't really use it, but I'm using it now. So the boss event, I'll tell you about the boss event first, is with Mesama. And Mesama is a skincare and skin device company run by a woman by the name of Bev May. Bev May is in England, and she is, in my opinion, and I've been in this whole skincare gig here on YouTube for over 6 years now. Bev May, in my opinion, is the smartest woman in skincare. She just is. She has one of those brains and she is so hardworking. This girl is amazing. So if you're looking for a skincare guru, dump everybody else and go on over to Mesama's channel and listen to Bev May. She really, really knows what she's talking about. She started the company Mesama with the green rooibos serum. Now, this is connected to what I'm going to talk about that I'm absolutely in love with. So the boss event for this month is 20% off anything on Mesama's website. If you haven't tried Mesama and you need something like cleanser or moisturizer or serum, whatever, give it a try. If you find something over there you think really fits a need that you have, 20% off is a great discount. Her stuff is so very good. And she is so smart. She really is so smart. She is the smartest woman in skincare that I'm aware of. So this is going to go with the little thing that I'm absolutely in love with. I'm in love with this thing. And what is it? It is this Chin2Chest red light device. So here's the red light right here. And here's what it looks like. Now, I believe this is silicone, so it's really, really squishy. And I actually was sent this by Bev a while back, but I talked about it, but I never really used it because I was using my big MITO panel. MITO, it's called MITO. I always call it MITO. That's wrong. It's MITO. The reason I just would use my MITO panel because I was in a routine. I just had a habit. I was doing it. Well, when I moved, I pulled this out and I thought, you know what? I think I want to use that because it was, right in front of me. It targets the chin, the neck, and the chest. And the difference with this device than my MITO, see, I pronounced it correctly this time, is this is pulse red light. This is a newer technology. If you do not have a red light yet and you've been looking at them and thinking about it, get a pulse light unit. It's newer technology. The difference between the older model, like my MITO, my full body MITO, and pulse red light, this builds up fewer free radicals because that pulse and then it backs off and it allows those free radicals to disperse. So it really minimizes the free radicals that build up with red light. So if you're looking at getting a red light device, get one from Bev at Mesama because she has the pulse red light, which is just better. That's where the industry is going to go. So I pulled this little sucker out. I have fallen in love with this. I do this every single morning while I do my crochet, while I'm crocheting. I get up and I have my coffee. I have like a cup of coffee. First, I put on my serum on my neck and my chest, this whole thing here. And then I put on my serum. I have like my first cup of coffee. And then I put this on. Let me show you how cool this is. So it just goes like this. Don't laugh at me, you guys. And then you go like this and see how it hits underneath your chin, your neck, and your chest right here like this. And then what you do is it has this little, this is the operator, the dials for it. What word am I looking for? The functionality. So it's this little unit right here, and this is all freestanding. In other words, nothing is plugged in. So you just turn it on, just like that, and it comes on, and then you can select your mode, either red light or infrared light, and then your time. And what I do is I do it for 6 minutes, and I'll just sit here with my little coffee in the morning and my crochet and use this. And it is so handy and so easy and so simple. I'm absolutely hooked on this thing because I can do something else while I'm wearing it. I'm not connected like to plugged into the wall or anything. I can get up and refill my coffee if I want to. I just take this little thing with me and boom, I'm done. It's so awesome. And then I want to show you, it gets even better. So with this, you can, red light is really, really good for wound healing because it generates ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate, which is the spark that kind of lights up your cell. Now, ATP doesn't travel around your body. It is cell specific. In other words, the cells that are being hit by the red light are going to be generating that ATP. Does that mean that the rest of your body is not benefiting from the red light? No, it doesn't, because that ATP, while that stays cell specific, what it does do is it increases the communication between all the cells in your body. In other words, those cells get a little bit more turned on, and that translates throughout your body. So if you're hitting this area, it's not only impacting this area, it's impacting your whole body. Truly, if you want to be healthier, red light is one of the coolest things you can do. Now, I want to show you something. See how this goes like this? And I'm not going to be able to demonstrate it for you, but my knees, for some reason, have been bothering me lately. They've been stiff, which is so weird because I have never, ever, ever had stiffness in anything ever. I just don't hurt. But my knees have been stiff. And so what I've been doing is I've been putting this around the top of my knee, above my kneecap, on my lower thigh. So I strap it there, and this hangs down over my knee, and I turn it on. It's so cool. Also, if you had it on a shoulder, you could put it on your shoulder because this is silicone, so you can put it anywhere. Got lower back pain? Put it on your back. This little sucker is so stinking handy. I love it. And I love the fact, if you wanna know what I'm doing at 5:30 in the morning, I'm sitting with this thing on, crocheting, drinking my coffee. It's heaven. All right, it gets even better, and I know that you guys are gonna think, "She's just making this up." I'm not. So this little unit is what makes it go. Here's the cool thing, is this just plugs in to the wall to charge. So you just, plug it into a little USB, one of those little, thingy bobbers that you plug a USB into. And this charges and it holds a charge, I think, for like 3 weeks for me. It's so, so cool. So I keep it in a little container right next to where I sit on my couch. And, this lasts for 3 weeks, and I pull this out and put it on. It's absolutely wonderful. If you don't have who is spamming the chat over there? Why are you doing that? Um, so if you don't have a red light device, you might want to think about one of these. It's 20% off the entire May Sama site. So that's a great deal. Now, the reason you want to look, there's two specials. There's a bundle with the red light, the chin to chest red light, and the serum. This has been clinically studied to prove that the red light is more effective by using this. This is why I put this on first. I wait a few minutes, have my first cup of coffee, and then I do my red light. So if you're looking at it and you're thinking about it and you see that there's just the red light and there's also the bundle, you might want to think about the bundle. Go ahead and look at the description over on the website on what this is. It's a really good deal. So I like that. Everything is listed in the description box down below the video. So that's a wonderful thing. All right, Kenny posted. Let's go back up here. I'm going to check on the questions. Deb, that was the most fun ever. Hi from Georgia. Hi. Let's see. She is. Bev May. It says, MK Brown says, Miss Sama, yes, she is so brilliant. She really is. She's so well educated on skincare. She just really is. If you don't subscribe to the Misama channel, you might want to think about it because she really, really does a great job. And what she has done is that she has expanded the line to where she has a full line of skincare and also a full line of different red light devices. So if you're looking at a red light, if you haven't gotten one yet and you're thinking maybe you want to get one, which is a good health decision, it really, it's great for your skin, but it's really, really good for your health. And we all need that these days because, our world has gotten a little toxic. So that's the boss event for this month. I want to thank Bev so much. She has been so wonderful to work with. And that alone right there is a good indication. If you ever have issues with Mesama, they're right there for you. They're really on top of it. They're not one of these big corporate companies that you feel like you're just shouting into an empty canyon. No, they're very, very on top of it. So you can feel really good about it. Let's see. I did post a link. So that's there. All right. Now I want you guys to tell me, do you have a red light and do you use it? What I do now is I do my little chin to chest. I do the knee things in the evenings. What I do is I just put on a pair of shorts and I put this on my knees. In the morning, I'll do this with my coffee. And then when I shower, I'll get out, do my full skincare, and sit in front of my big MITO panel just for 5 minutes because I've already done 6 minutes with this. Now, if I know that I'm not going to have time to do my bigger panel, I'll do 12 minutes on this. So I'll do the 6 minutes, it'll, time out, and then I'll add another 6 minutes. So that's how I use it. It is so stinking convenient. I absolutely love it. So 20% off is a great deal. It really is. Their serum is really good, Deb. That's great. I have the smaller panel from them. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you guys too. So nobody's telling me how they're feeling. Is it you don't want to talk about it? It's so crazy. I was actually thinking about you guys doing a live just so we can talk about, it's like, is everybody stressed out or Are you all doing okay? You're just ignoring it? You know? I don't know. I do pay attention. I do know what's going on around the world. I think that, I think for me, it's been a real lesson in sticking to principles and not people. I stick with my principles, be kind, be nice, do the things you wanna do, have fun, that sort of thing. Concern, just saying the least. Yeah, it is concerning. It is concerning, that's for darn sure. I have found that, first of all, looking for the things that are good and fun and the people that are great and fun. You know what's so funny is you can get on social media and everybody's arguing, but when I go out in the world, everybody's so stinking nice. They really are. And I have just had, so many wonderful interactions like us down in the Yucatan, Deb. It was so much fun. People are good. People are good and they're loving and they're kind and they want to be helpful and thoughtful. At least that's what I'm seeing in the world. That's for darn sure. So maybe we just need to focus on that, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much. All the details on the Boss event are listed in the description box down below. Again, it is 20% off all of Bev's website, the Maysama website, everything on her website, 20% off. And this is just exclusive to the viewers of Pretty Over 50. In other words, this is not a published sale or a public sale. It's just exclusive to us. This is our Boss event, and Boss stands for Big Old Super Sale. And I'll have to say, I only invite certain companies to this. It's invitation only. Companies ask if they can get involved, and they really have to have criteria where I feel like, first of all, they have a passion for what they're doing. They have executed that passion really well. Their price point is fair. I am not always looking for the least expensive. I'm looking for a fair price point because I want them to be able to make a profit so they can stay in business. That's important. It's like we have to think about, business wise. If they can't stay in business, they're not going to be around if we need them in the future. So we want them to be able to stay in business. And I want a real customer-focused company. That's very, very important to me. And Bev, Maysama and Bev, they just tick all the boxes there. I cannot tell you guys how much respect I have for her. She just does it so very good. See, Nancy says, yes, major stress. I'm a government worker. Yeah, so I look forward to your channel. Good, Nancy. I'm glad that you do. I'm a new widow as well and navigating the unimaginable. Yeah. It does, it takes a while. It just takes a while. And Tamara says, "I'm very worried. It's a scary time." I think we're gonna have some bumpy times. I do think that, in my world, humanity wins always. I just feel like, there's so many of us who have such good intentions, and that matters. And if we just stick to our principles and stick to a more loving way of being on the planet, I can't imagine that that doesn't prevail in the end. So it's up to us sticking to those principles of kindness and fairness and, building a beautiful life. That's what, and stopping the lying. I always wonder what would happen if no one could lie anymore. Wouldn't that be funny? If no one could lie anymore, that would be great. All right. Okay, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining me again. The Boss event is May Sama this month. It's good all month long. If you're on my email newsletter list, you're going to get a little tickler reminder in the Sunday morning email every Sunday morning. If you're not on the newsletter list, you might want to consider joining it because it's the most popular thing about my channel. I could disappear tomorrow. People would want to know where the email newsletter is. It comes out every Sunday morning at 6 a.m. It is 7 little items of the 7 cool things I found throughout the week. It could be a good recipe or a detox tip or a health tip or something I found that I think is really cool and really worth it, that all goes in the Sunday morning email newsletter. Super easy to join. You just click the link in the description box down below and you're in. You can unsubscribe at any time. It's totally free, but I think you're going to love it. It is super, super popular. You cannot believe how big that list is. We have on, I don't sell your name. I am the most ethical person you will ever meet. That's just the way it is. But we do love our Sunday morning email. Oh, you love the email newsletter. I'm wonderful. Thank you. Beautifully said. Humanity wins in the end. Yeah, wonderful. Well, I'm going to hop off. I'm going to get back to crocheting this bag that I'm working on. It's a really big one, but I think it's going to be pretty. Thank you guys so much. You know, it just makes my day when you show up here with me. I'd love to do a live sometime soon and just have us all chat about what's going on. So let me know if that sounds something you might want to be interested in. You know, sometimes it just feels comforting to find other people that, you know, you can relate to. Sometimes that just feels nurturing and comforting. So maybe we ought to do that soon. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. And I will see you this Sunday with a really fun video. You're going to love it. All right. Take care. Bye now.